My name is Kevin Harton.
My name is Jeff Cullen.
And we are
Booking
Samoa. I'm originally from Melbourne, Australia. Been living here in Samoa for 7 years.
I'm originally from Moree in northern New South Wales, and I've been in Samoa just over 11 years.
Booking Samoa is a online travel agent designed specifically around the needs of small, medium enterprises here in Samoa.
By giving them tools to help them do business, but also by putting them out there in front of the world. Most of them aren't represented or bookable at the moment, and that's what we will help them do. And for tourists, visitors to Samoa, for the first time, that are really hard to find until we come along. We joined the Seedstars competition because, number one, we thought we've got a pretty good product, but in reality already, it's only been a short journey so far, we've really sharpened our pitching technique, I hope. We're learning from others. We're really looking at how to focus on the best parts of our business and how to present that to people. Some of the benefits of this program, there's just nothing like it here in Samoa. There are limited opportunities for start-up businesses in all areas. So to be able to get some international experience, but not just that, working with other people who have similar ideas, or as in starting up a new business and looking for a bit of assistance, this really is a good thing, and it again helps us look at our business, take a step back, focus on what we need to do, but also how we present that to other people.
Okay. An IT expert and a tourism expert walk into an Apia bar. It may sound like the opening line of a well-worn joke, but it's the true story of the beginning of an idea that we believe will transform the opportunities for small to medium tourism operators in developing markets like Samoa, Pacific and beyond. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for the opportunity to pitch Booking Samoa at Seedstars Apia. My name is Kevin Harton, the IT expert, and along with Jeff Cullen, the tourism expert, we are the co-founders of Booking Samoa. Together, we bring more than 30 years of tourism and IT experience, with more than 18 years combined experience in the local Samoan tourism, training and IT sectors. Let me introduce you to Sione. He has a popular beach valet accommodation with a fine white sand beach, merging down into the crystal clear waters of the lagoon. The waves gently lap in front of your traditional open valet, and the temperature's around 30 degrees every day of the year. Apart from a Facebook page, Sione has very little online presence. He's not so reliable with email, and guests walking in is how he takes bookings. And by the way, it's cash only. The majority of Samoa's tourism business operate this way. Klaus, the typical backpacker, well informed about his destination before he arrives through online research, social media and word of mouth from fellow travellers. Like many people from outside of the islands, online bookings and payments are expected in order to be organised in his adventures. After conferring with many Siones and Klauses, we determined that the problem is threefold. Firstly, there's a lack of uptake of trending technologies to enable tourists to directly book with many local operators. Access to information, effective communications, and the ability to execute online bookings and payments was in dire need of an integrated solution. Secondly, the cost of using available technologies is prohibitive for smaller operators, both in terms of resources and the excessive commissions being charged by the dominant online travel agents, who seem to only be interested in high volume, high value hotels and resorts. Finally, there's no single marketplace that tourists can use to book the broad product offerings and experiences available here in beautiful Samoa. The solution we have built is much more than a website. It's an integrated platform that addresses each of the three problems and more. We do this in a manner that does not demand that our supplier partners radically change their business operations, but instead we provide tools and facilities that they're already familiar with to enhance their operation and deliver a world-class service level to tourist customers. Our supplier partners, just like Seedstars, will be able to compete for online bookings on equal terms with the big operators. Our customer service team will guide and assist in building an appropriate portfolio of products, and our supplier mobile app ensure that they get notified of a booking request and can respond immediately. For tourist customers like Klaus, they gain a platform where almost all of their desired tourism products are offered in one place and are bookable through a trusted platform. We estimate that we have a serviceable market of about 76 million tala annually. Our business model is based around a 10% commission, and with an initial targeted 10% market share, we will return an operating revenue in the first year of $750,000 tala. Our market share is expected to grow to 20% over the first 3 years, resulting in an operating revenue of $1.5 million tala locally. BookingSamoa has emerged from a successful tour and rental business, which have provided funding to date. Since the border closure, we've sought alternative revenue streams from related software development activities. Once the borders reopen, we expect our traditional revenue streams will quickly be surpassed by booking revenues. We're seeking $250,000 to take BookingSamoa through the initial 18 months and into our initial expansion stage. These funds will be allocated to marketing, hiring and developing local staff, and infrastructure. Our goal is to accelerate development ahead of all the borders opening and to ramp up marketing activities to drive traffic to our platform. For the investor, BookingSamoa represents an opportunity to get on board early and enjoy the returns not only here in Samoa, but also throughout the Pacific and beyond.
Thanks a lot, Kevin, for the presentation.
No worries.
So I leave the floor first to the other jurors. So Stephanie, Ben, if you have any question to Kevin, please feel free to ask.
Or Jeff.
Or Jeff, sorry. Yes.
Hi, Jeff. Well, I'll start. Excellent presentation. I think you really nicely outlined the problem, and it's such a problem, right? I do know that there are lots of problems with mobile money and payment gateways in the Pacific. So my question is about, like, how confident are you that can be solved for your solution?
As far as payment gateways are concerned, we've had discussions with all the banks here. We have a merchant facility locally, but they're not very sophisticated when it comes to implementing gateways. So we've actually been forced to go offshore. We're using a group based out of the UK called Trust My Travel, and they specialise in payment processing for the travel industry, particularly in Europe. It's unfortunate. We have a preference to do everything we possibly can here in Samoa, but the other thing is that the costs associated with processing credit card payments here in Samoa are excessive because of the very low volumes.
And on our end, once the money is here, we transfer to a local bank account, and that's something that online travel agencies don't do. PayPal doesn't work here, Stripe doesn't work here. So basically we get paid, and on the day of travel, so to speak, when somebody arrives at your beach valet or takes your tour, very next day we transfer the funds into Seedstars' bank account.
Okay, yeah, that's awesome. And I mean, obviously COVID-19 is the big issue here with starting a tourism business. What's your plan B if borders don't open for another year?
Well, we're confident the borders will open. We're right in the middle of our plan B now. So we officially launched on the 1st of February, and our planned first 3 months was to get out there and sign up supplier partners. We had a very positive initial sign-on, and then the borders closed. And our expectation is that the borders will probably open up here in April. And that coincides pretty much with the traditional dry season, you know, the Australian and New Zealanders getting away from the winter. And I think there will be a pent-up demand, particularly in Australia and New Zealand. And we think that the Pacific is going to be very much a destination of choice. We are quietly confident that that things will pick up, you know, fairly strongly.
Yeah, thanks both. Likewise, I thought it was a fantastic presentation. I think it's quite obvious that every country needs an organisation like yours. You know, you're both experts in this area, so I'm sure you know the answer, but what I did want to see is a bit more of an understanding of your target market. And so I'm just sort of wondering if you can unpack that a little bit more. What is the sort of typical traveller that you are targeting, and where are they coming from?
So it's around 80% of travellers to Samoa are from Australia and New Zealand, but of course we're targeting any traveller coming from anywhere outside of Samoa. The thing about Samoa, most people come here after they've been to places like Bali, like Fiji even, in the South Pacific. So most are already looking for something that's a little bit different. That's why they're looking at Samoa. So it really is, it kind of is, the people who want to come to Samoa are already the people that need to come to us, because we will have available all of those smaller places that the big guys don't have available.
I have one more question, and I might pass back to Stephanie, who might have a few more. So my family and I went to Vanuatu last year, incidentally. We went to a lot of the outer islands and we booked on Airbnb. So increasingly we've noticed that this penetration is coming. And I wonder if you do, now that you know there's going to be greater connectivity coming to Samoa, we know it is, have you got a plan to sort of compete with that or complement that if it does happen?
Well, number one, our cost structure is quite low. So we've kept our commissions low. So we're sharing the profit through lower costs. We call our suppliers partners because we're in it together. Without them, we have no products. Without us, they have no marketing platform. So we really are in it together. We will be ensuring that the highest levels of business practices are being followed in terms of you know, environmental issues and so forth. These are very, very important issues in the islands. There are people who do the wrong thing. We will disengage with them people.
Yeah, that's a great response. And as a potential consumer of what you guys do, that's certainly what I'd be looking for is, you know, how can I provide back to a lot of the customers, partners you have? So yeah, thanks very much. Appreciate it.
Well, just on one final note there, the bulk of these businesses that we're engaging with, and it's very typical right across the islands, are small family-owned businesses. So it's, you know, as a tourism consumer, your hard-earned dollars are going to the people that you've come to see, the people that you've come to engage with, the people that would otherwise be invisible because they have no platform to get in front of you.
Hi, Kevin. Thanks a lot and Jeff. Thanks both of you for answering these questions, and I'll see you soon.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Good luck.
Take care.